welcome to Dump Truck Toolbox. I'm Alan, and today we're going to talk about bumps in the road. Usually I position my camera on the dash, gives you a better view of the road and gives me some more flexibility. But today I'm going to go back to the camera position I used to use to show you how bumpy the ride can be for a dump truck driver. I'm using a GoPro 10 here. I love the image stabilization on it. It does look at what it perceives as the horizon, I believe. And so that is the image outside the truck window. And so by pulling it back, you're able to sort of contrast a stable horizon with the movement of me and the truck to a lesser extent. So when I hit a big bump like this, I'm going to move up and down quite a bit. I'm going over the James River Bridge here. The bridge is made with expansion joints on a regular interval, and these expansion joints cause the truck to move some, as you can see. Because I have a load in the truck, the rear doesn't bounce quite as much. It sort of settles in. The front of the truck does go up and down some, and there's some rhythm to it where like every third expansion joint I get a somewhat bigger bounce. As I go up the bridge here, there's some irregularities in the surface that I would never notice driving my personal car, but everything is magnified riding in the dump truck. This is a drawbridge, and so as I enter the grid area here, there's a bump, and you can see I'm moving up and down, I don't know, a good 5-6 inches. There's another one. And understand, this is a, paved road in reasonably good shape. It's a 4-lane. Just wait until I get off-road. Why does a dump truck move around so much? Why does it bounce so much? There are a couple of reasons. Number one, it is a work truck. It's designed to carry a heavy load, and it's not designed to maximize driver comfort. Secondly, this truck especially has a couple of design features that increase its bounciness. It's got a short hood. You might see some older dump trucks that have the old-fashioned long hood. Well, here the engine is sort of tucked up almost inside the cab, and that puts you closer to the front wheels, magnifies the bumps. The least comfortable truck I've ever driven commercially was a cab-over moving van, a tractor trailer. Tractor had a very short wheelbase, and it was a cab over. That means that the cab was over the engine, and the driver sat over the front wheels. Had an incredible chop to it, magnified in part by the trailer sort of being stable, and you were bouncing not only up and down, but your head was moving back and forward. Very uncomfortable truck on a choppy highway. The other design characteristic of my dump truck specifically that makes the ride a little bouncier is it has leaf springs in the rear, which are less forgiving than the option, which is to have an airbag suspension in the rear. I have driven several dump trucks with airbag suspensions on the road and driving through a yard. They're definitely more comfortable, less bounce, at least from the rear. However, the big disadvantage of the airbags is when you're dumping out, if the truck is even on a slight incline, the downhill airbag can compress and tip the truck even more. So I don't like airbags. I mean, yes, they'd be a little more comfortable, but I think the trade-off in safety is not worth it. The commercial vehicles I've driven have an air suspension for the driver's seat, and that definitely makes it more comfortable to hit, especially a big bump in the road. As I exit the bridge here, you'll see the truck move, and you'll see that I am cushioned by the airbag. The airbag keeps you from feeling the hard hit when you hit, for example, a pothole or an abrupt change in elevation on the road. However, it doesn't make you bounce less, it just makes you bounce more gently. When I drove transit buses, which put the driver all the way at the front of the vehicle, I mean literally your toes are just inches away from the front bumper, the motion that the driver experiences is even more extreme. It's like being on the end of a seesaw almost at times. And the buses they do have air suspension usually, and so they have a softer ride, which makes sense, you're carrying passengers. For the driver though, you get this funny motion where the bus itself is sort of wafting over the bumps in the road. And so the front bumper of the bus is going up and down in an even more extreme fashion. And as a driver, you're sitting there on your air suspension seat, and you have even more motion. I actually had a friend who was going through new driver training at a transit bus company, and the motion was so disorienting to her that she started getting motion sickness and had to drop out of training. It was just too much. I've said it before on the channel, driving a commercial vehicle is not for everyone. If you are prone to motion sickness, you may not want to pursue commercial driving. If you don't like being bounced around going down the road, you know, it's sort of part of the job, at least for driving a dump truck, and I suspect many other trucks. For me, I don't really mind the motion. It's part of just dancing with the dump truck. On a lighter note, it's cheaper than buying a pass to an amusement park. Still, there's some practical things I do to minimize the bouncing. I adjust the seat height to the middle of its range so it doesn't bottom out or throw me up against the seat belt. I've actually hit my construction helmet on the roof of the dump truck when the seat was set too high. I sit up straight to protect my back. I move one or both feet to ride the motion better. Often I'll move my left foot back and put it sort of under the front of the seat. I often tell myself to drive with soft hands. That is, don't grab the wheel with a death grip and try to fight the up and down motion. Just sort of ride with it. Just keep your hands on the wheel, but don't grip it so hard. I slow down for any known big bumps, and then I also straddle potholes when I can see them, and it's safe to do. Those of you that are commercial drivers, I'd be interested in hearing in the comments below your experiences and what you do to deal with the bumps in the road. For everyone else, if you found today's video useful or interesting, please click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I'm Alan, and I hope to see you on the road, bumps and all, and on the Dump Truck Toolbox in the near future. Bye for now.